Go! Go, go, Gadget YouTube vertical. I combined Inspector Gadget with the Power Rangers. That was actually kind of awesome. And if you didn't think so, you're a hater. And I will never speak to you again. And we're going to go on Instagram. Maybe. Potentially. Ooh, it didn't work. Take this. Go here. See if I try it again. Oh, it worked. Thank God. Okay. And then TikTok. So unless I am mistaken, we are now live. Let's do a test chat for Instagram. Perfect. Restream.io did not work. Love that. Gotta frickin' love that. Love it when my things don't work. Yes, close that one. Now, custom docs. Instagram chat 2. Okay to retry? Nope. Okay, that one doesn't work. Okay. Docs. Instagram chat 3. What's up, Elaine Vario? Does not seem like this works either, but I will give it some time to load in the off chance that it chooses to do things. I did this before. How did it not work this time? Yes, Elaine Varlow, I am talking about things that'll happen today. I'm just doing some small troubleshooting stuff, which is clearly not going to work. So, oops, we're just going to skip ahead, shall we? Yes, that's what we're going to do, isn't it? Isn't it, people? Wait for it. Wait for it. Organize. Organize. Okay, we are going. So, the economy is going to the shitter. If in the odd chance you are living under a rock, which is beneath a boulder, which is currently hurtling towards the sun, things don't look so great. So obviously, Trump is trying to lie, as are all of his acolytes. They're trying to lie in order to cover up for everything. The fact that the economy is tanking because Donald Trump is a pedophile is a big factor.
So what would you say the impact is on the U.S. economy so far? I mean, we know, Kevin, that we just came off of the worst quarter for stocks in several years. We know that oil prices have risen 50%. What would be your expectation for the impact on economic growth in the coming quarters?
Well, I mean, absent this event, then when you and I talked about this last time, I said that because AI is creating so much productivity, because President Trump's policies, All
right, so let's pause it right here. AI is not creating a lot of productivity. If anything, AI is getting shut down. There's been a lot of pushbacks. I can't remember which big tech company. It was either OpenAI or Google, I think, had another, or maybe both, honestly, had a facility that was shut down because the local community came out and fought against it, and the city council voted it down. AI specifically is to do the exact opposite of productivity. It is there to take people's jobs away who know what in the fuck they're doing and give it into the hands of a computer that doesn't understand anything to do with human interaction. For example, I dare you, try and contact your healthcare provider. Try and contact your internet provider. Try and contact your phone provider. See how long, try to call the airlines if you book a ticket. See how long it takes you to get through their stupid ass phone trees. That alone takes like 15 to 20 minutes. Then you're on hold for another 5 to 10, maybe even 30 sometimes, like I just was earlier today. So it has nothing to do with productivity. It is specifically in regards to take people's jobs away, to enrich the rich and make the poor poorer. AI is creating productivity. It does for me, so you are wrong. Yeah, I'm sure you have an entire thesis to prove that, don't you, Leland?
DREG and the taxes are causing an investment boom that considers or continues right to this day. You know, we just got Advanced Durables numbers that said that orders for capital goods and shipments of capital goods are at an all-time high. All of that is happening because of optimism that President...
I love how he's like, we just had a lot of shipment of goods and a lot of extra stuff purchased, and it's just nothing but red.
Trump not only will resolve this in the short term, but in the long term, his policies are going to create a golden age. And so
God, Jesus Christ. This little podunk hillbilly town vibe drives me fucking insane. It reminds me of my family. Like, never believe a guy that looks like this. Just don't. If this guy is telling you that the sun is rising tomorrow, there is a good chance that we have finally met our end and the sun is going to explode.
Began the year with a guess that we'd probably be in the 4 to 5 range for economic growth because of all this.
4 to 5% GDP growth has only happened a few number of times throughout our country's history. And we're seeing he's literally saying this with nothing but red in the screens. We have negative job losses. The February jobs numbers came in under what we need to keep up with economic growth. And just like all the others, that's going to end up getting revised down. Even if it doesn't, it comes from a source that you can't trust because the Trump regime are nothing but liars. The Strait is open. The Strait is not open. By the way, we bombed Iran into obliteration. Oh, they shot down our planes. They didn't shoot down our planes. We rescued our guys. They didn't rescue our guys. Also, we have complete air dominance, but also they shot down another plane. These people are nothing but liars. There's nothing they can say. I swear to God, if they were to actually start telling the truth, you would have to question, again, whether or not the sun would rise.
And I'll stick by those numbers. I think this is a temporary a distraction that will very, very quickly go away. You saw that when you saw the market celebrate yesterday when they thought that this would be over.
The market celebrates because Trump is doing insider trading. That's the only reason for it. He continuously manipulates the markets. We see this because just, what was it, Monday, I believe it was this week actually, there was a bunch of people that put a shitload of bets on stocks that happened to be in the oil industry. Just about an hour or so, I think these bets were placed between 6 and 7 a.m. in the morning, and then Trump came out around 8 a.m. with the statement that, by the way, the Strait is open, we have a peace deal, and so, of course, those stocks happen to shoot through the roof. This is nothing but insider trading by the richest of the rich.
I think our excellent negotiating team will finish the job.
Excellent negotiating team consisting of J.D. Vance and Jared Kushner, who's part of the reason, well, not J.D. Vance, but Jared Kushner, is part of the reason we're in this mess because they didn't relay the proper information from the negotiations with Iran in regards to their nuclear deal to Donald Trump, which caused these dipshits to go off the deep end and start blowing everything up. So, yeah, A-plus team there.
And then we'll be back on track to one of the best years ever.
Wow. So you still look for 4 to 5% growth for this year?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Because productivity is already giving us 2.5, and so if we get a little out of everything else, then you can get way north of 3.
He knows his bullshit. He's just saying he's got his script, he's got his talking points, and Maria Bartiromo here is of course a political hack. But even the fact that she's a political hack and Fox Fake News itself is out here saying. Keep in mind, Fox Fake News had to pay $750 million to settle a defamation lawsuit, okay? These are liars through and through. I don't have my Ring camera on. Wait for it. There we go. So the fact that they're even covering this story shows exactly how bad. It shows a couple things. One, that the economy is actually shit. And two, they have to bring out their mouthpieces to try and throw out some propaganda in the hope that it gets people to buy into their bullshit and consumer spending will go up, even though we right now should be holding on to our wallets and spending less. Oh my God, holy crap, are you telling me tariffs made things more expensive? It's almost as if we should have listened to economists. Oh well. The 2025 tariffs led to an increase in the prices of domestic and imported goods. U.S. retail prices for domestic and imported products indexed to January 2024. Liberation Day, this is when the tariffs started. You can see it was kind of flatlining. There was a big spike because Trump first put the tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Canada and Mexico then gave reciprocal tariffs back to us, which was actually kind of amazing because if I remember right, they targeted specifically towards red state and Republican products, so like specific kind of whiskeys made by Republican dipshits. So good on them, our neighbors to the north and south, for like keeping us liberals safe from this tariff war shit. And then, of course, Liberation Day, about a month later, where you see it's just a constant increasing line up right here from this data point to about there. It's just an escalator straight up. Yeah, I wonder why. And then we saw that, God damn, what was it? I don't have the exact numbers, but it was like billions were lost in the not in the markets, but in the consumer index, not the consumer index, but people that are buying the products, the consumers, lost billions because of the cost of all this shit. And then, of course, none of it went back to us. It all went to Trump's pockets and to the rich, as it always does. Connected to TikTok chat successfully. Finally! God, that took long enough. Every time I think I've seen the most ridiculous tariff thing, they totally top themselves. It's impressive, really. White House secures foreign steel for ballroom project. So this absolutely undermines everything that they have ever said about being not bought and paid for, right? Trump ran a big part on his campaign was, I can't be bought. I am self-funding my campaign, no foreign money. And yet here they are. ArcelorMittal, a European steelmaker, is donating tens of millions of dollars of foreign steel for President Trump's new ballroom. Yet the White House has secured tens of millions of dollars worth of donated foreign steel for Mr. Trump's $400 million ballroom project. They said the steel was produced in Europe, where the bulk of ArcelorMittal's you said ass production is concentrated. Donald Trump's comments, I'm not calling him the president, fuck that shit. Trump's comments came just days before the White House made adjustments to its tariffs that could benefit ArcelorMittal. Wow, I can't believe that the tariffs are being adjusted to companies specifically donating to Trump. It's almost like it's pay for fucking play. Wow, that's so crazy. Inflation works one way and one way only. Prices go up and they stay up. These people's greed will never be satisfied and they will never miss a chance to price gouge. The Delta CEO won't commit to lowering ticket prices if jet fuel prices go down. When asked if his company would lower prices if fuel costs dropped, he instead said that lower fuel costs would certainly help us boost our margins this year and clearly into next year as well. Hey, Leland, that's the shit you're supporting, you dipshit. Yeah, this stuff right here, you're paying more for, well, actually, you're probably not flying because you're a hillbilly cousin fucker that's stuck in mommy's basement and you don't have a job. But this is the kind of shit that your people, your pedophile POTUS, is the one causing this. And your prices are going to continue to go up. Your gas prices are going to go up. Your costs for chicken, eggs, beef, all the shit that you buy, the cost of the chains that you use to keep the children in your basement secured, that price is all going up as well, buddy. So good luck to you. Congrats on your vote. More from Delta today. And what this guy says is right. The prices always go up. They never go down. We saw this back during 9/11 when the airline industries came begging with their hands out to Congress, needing a bailout. And they were always saying, oh, don't worry about, charging for baggage fees, charging for, extra this, extra that. Don't worry about any of that. It'll be fine. Come on. You know that we're going to make sure we lower prices afterwards, right? It was like a bad date trying to get you to pay for a lobster dinner. This shit never works. And then those prices, then we still pay the extra baggage fees. We still pay every extra fucking bullshit. They're pretty soon going to charge us just to print a fucking ticket. And now Frontier Airlines is charging us just to talk to a fucking person. It's like $30 to talk to a human being and not this AI shit, which Leland the moron in my chat loves so much. Leland, if you love AI so much, please use Grok, use ChatGPT, use it for everything, because we're seeing more and more, especially it just came out with Google. Their AI overview is giving a whole unprecedented levels of misinformation. So please, go have fun with it. Research your infertility and your reason you have limp dick. I promise you it's going to come out with A+ reasons. You won't need a doctor at all when you come in with an erection that's lasted more than 12 hours. We laugh to keep from crying.
We own the economy in the fourth quarter. Donald Trump economy.
12/19/25. So again, as we have finally started to see job slowdown, even net losses in job reports, we own the economy in the fourth quarter. Yeah, okay, buddy. Wishful thinking there. And yet, what is the Trump regime doing with all this time now that we know the economy is in the shitter? He's announced it's dismantling the U.S. Forest Service. Great! Fantastic. It's not like, I don't know, that there's a shitload of more fires than there have been in the past or anything like that, which, by the way, isn't just isolated to us in commie California. Yeah, that's all in the Midwest. There's forests fucking everywhere, dude. Even in places that don't really technically have forests, you still have brush fires and shit that are typically Republican areas because they're more rural. This does nothing but fuck over his very voters. That's all it does, which is, of course, his reason for fucking existing. the same way that he loved to talk about how he's such a great deal maker. The reason he calls himself a great deal maker is because he gets people to work for him, and then he doesn't fucking pay them. Just like all the fucking vendors that were still trying to get payments before he ran for president in the first fucking time around. This is just dumb. This is going to put more people at risk. It's going to get more people killed. And honestly, if it was just Republicans, I wouldn't give a shit. You guys voted for this. You get the downside. But the simple fact is, these forest fires, which are now going to go completely unchecked, completely unmanaged, completely unprevented, are going to cause a shitload of ecological damage, economic damage, and human damage, because liberals are going to live in those areas too. And unfortunately, liberals are going to be the ones that are going to die along with these MAGA morons. Same way with COVID. If these MAGA morons want to go and cough on each other and have a fucking orgy of COVID and chickenpox fest, have at thee. Go to a fucking island, isolate yourselves, stay the fuck out of society, and then the survivors, if you even live, which you probably wouldn't, then you can integrate back into society. But stop fucking getting us killed because of your bullshit.
Fearless
So what else?
conversations.
Oh, I love how he's talking with a fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000 music. So also, what else is the MAGA agenda doing to compensate for their failing economy?
For decades now, Americans have been told that we should trust the system, but our children are sicker, chronic diseases exploding.
Our children are sicker and they look worse than ever. We just can't have people that sound like they're coughing and going to die of a heart attack any moment be feeling bad. We have to make sure that they're healthy. Yeah. This guy that looks like the ass end of a cigarette butt that's been used down to the fucking tiny little embers. This guy that looks like charcoal that's been in the grill for 3 years. This guy is telling us what health is. Okay.
And the answers that we've been given aren't working. Many of us have come to the conclusion that government actually lies to us. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr.,
Yeah,
your
you're the one
HHS
lying.
secretary. This podcast is about telling the truth, especially when it's uncomfortable. I'm going to have fearless conversations with critical thinkers, including independent doctors, respected scientists, and leaders in medical innovation and research. I'm going to ask the questions and lift the taboos and expose the hypocrisy and the conflicts and the corruption. We're going to follow the evidence wherever it leads. And we're going to name the names of the forces that obstruct the path to public health. This isn't going to be about politics.
Come on, bro. The man is more wrinkly than a fucking leather tanning booth. And he's talking about exposing, what was it?
Paths to public health.
To public
This
health?
isn't going to be about politics. It's about our families, it's about our children, and it's about confronting the spiritual malaise and embracing the truth. If we want a healthy nation, we have to confront the lies that have made us spiritually, morally, and physically sick. The time for half measures is now over. We're launching a new era of radical transparency in government here at HHS. I hope you'll join us in our mission to make America healthy again.
So, there's a measles outbreak in Republican states. There's a smallpox outbreak in Republican states. There's a chickenpox outbreak in Republican states. There's even an outbreak of polio. Kids are breaking out with polio. There was a kid who died, and his parents said that even knowing that he would die, they still wouldn't have vaccinated him against polio. That's child abuse, and those people should seriously have had their child taken away. Because if they had had their child taken away from them, that kid would still be alive today. That's all this is. This shit is nothing more than fucking propaganda in their anti-science war that's going to get more people killed. And just like I said, if it was only the MAGA people that were in just this tiny little hole that you could only fit through if you could just gelatinize your body like an octopus and fit through just tiny little millimeter-sized hole, and then we could all come out on the other side and just make love to each other in a fecal pool, and heck, everyone could get hepatitis C and we would be immunized. That would be great. If only that could happen, and that is what my podcast is here to do tonight. If that could happen, I would be all in favor of it, MAGA. Go at it. But unfortunately, these dipshits are going to spread more. And here's the other thing. It's not only just more bad health advice. It's not only more bad science. It is also more violence to the medical community. We saw it especially with COVID, where these people who got COVID and were then in the hospitals would then assault the doctors, would assault the nurses because they said, you're getting them sick, because they believe the bullshit from men who look and sound like this.
It leads. And we're going to name the names of the forces that obstruct the path to public health. This isn't going to be about politics. It's about our families, it's about our children, and it's about confronting the spiritual malaise and embracing the truth. If we want a healthy nation, we have to confront the lies that have made us spiritually.
Right. Oh, well. Yeah, I believe you. And also, these people, let's not forget that these people have a stupidly weird obsession with birth rates. They're voting on its ability to do surveillance for the state, praying for the meteor. You and me both, Elaine. You and me both. These people have a unhealthy, creepy, weird, and perverted obsession with birth rates. We saw it with Elon, who has something in common with RFK. We'll get to that in a minute. U.S. fertility rates dropped to another record low. The fertility rate has been falling since 2007, in large part because of a plunge among teenagers. There are some clues in the age breakdown. The fertility rate for teenagers dropped by 7% from 2024's figures, setting another record low for the group. Since 2007, the rate for teenagers is down by 72%. And since 91, when teenage fertility rates were at a high, the rate is down by 81%. This is actually a good thing. And these creeps, these pedos, these groomers are trying to up these numbers by providing shit information about public health, by providing shit health care for women, and also, of course, by restricting and by not covering sex ed, by not providing condoms, and, of course, by not providing birth control. And last of all, but not least, we all know it, not providing abortion. This is what they want to go back to. They want to go back to just knocking up teenagers because that's what the pedophile, groomer, MAGA movement has always done. It is a conglomeration of pedophiles. The reason that people like Alex Jones and, what was her name, Rosie O'Donnell and Elon Musk and all of these other creeps have been harping on for so long about the islands where and people are raping children, especially Alex Jones. You know, he went on Rogan's podcast and had that meltdown. I was like, they're eating babies! I can't tell you how bad it is when they're eating babies! The reason they know it is because they participated. Look at what Elon Musk did. Begging at 6 in the morning to Epstein to go to the island. Meeting with Epstein. His brother, Kimball Musk, meeting with Epstein. By the way, RFK Jr. also had multiple meetings with Epstein, with Cosby, with with Weinstein, some of the worst fucking people on the planet. And they're obsessed with teenage birth control. With fertility rates, and especially when it comes to teenage sex. These people are creeps. And that is exactly why you cannot trust anything they say, and all this horseshit has to be fought back viciously. No more of this button-down suit and tie. It's like, oh, well, if my lovely opponent on the right thinks that we should be marrying underage, I must say that I think that it's actually wrong. I think that children should not be married underage. And you got RFK. Well, actually, it's great for children to be married underage because they do it in many cultures where they marry underage and they live to be happily ever after for a few years until they die in childbirth. But, you know, for those short period of time, it's great. That's the two sides. No more of this. We need to call it out. Look, these guys are pedophiles. These guys are creeps. Look at this creepy motherfucker.
And physically sick. The time.
Look at this creepy son of a bitch. You want this guy calling the shots for your fucking daughter's health care? Speaking of the pedophiles, speaking of Epstein, what is Melania saying here?
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation.
Oh, horseshit. What reputation, bitch?
I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common.
Okay, let's cut through this horseshit. So, the reason that Melania was first introduced to Trump was because of Epstein. Epstein has been pictured with Melania multiple times. Melania flew on Epstein's plane. Trump himself flew on Epstein's plane more times than reported, more times than he admitted to. And we all know that when it comes to Epstein, when you hide stuff, it's because you're totally fucking innocent.
In New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
She met Maxwell before she met Epstein. Well,
My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence.
which you then turned into physical
My polite
correspondence.
reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note.
Wow.
I
She's a
am
terrorist
not
figure.
Epstein's victim.
No, you're his fucking accomplice.
Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998.
Which she got introduced to by who, bitch?
This initial encounter with my husband is documented in a detail in my book, Melania.
Jesus. She is the worst public speaker. She is has to be the worst first lady speaker in fucking history. She has no credibility. She's all over the Epstein files. Trump is all over the Epstein files. So Alejandra correctly asks, what story is about to drop that she's trying to get ahead of? What could be coming out in those Epstein files, I wonder? What are you hiding, you disgusting, child molesting, raping Melania? What is coming out in those files? Approaching the 1-year anniversary this weekend. 90 deals in 90 days is possible. The war in Iran has been almost half of 90 days, and he hasn't even gotten one deal out of that. This is just utter copium from these people. And the only people stupid enough to believe stuff like this are people like Leland, who's still in my chat. Bro, you're still ranting and raving? You've been in here like 30 minutes. Get a job. Here come the oil executive leaks. Hell yes, this person said when asked if executives were contacting the White House to protest a toll on Hormuz. We didn't have to do that before, and I thought we won the war. Any place you have access to the administration, you ask, what are you guys thinking? So this is clearly just an attempt by the oil executives to get ahead of it. This is just more sane-washing horseshit, as usual. The oil executives were the one that backed this nonsense. They were the ones that supported Trump. They were the ones that backed his campaign, that listened to him, do all his stupid-ass horse shit, do all his Nazis are fine people on both sides, that saw him incite a terrorist attack on January 6th, that saw the Epstein files start coming out, and even if they didn't start coming up at that time, they knew all the public stuff that was out there about Trump being Epstein's best friend for over a decade, and they still supported him. This is just saying, this is them trying to get ahead of the story, trying to give themselves some credibility, which they should not. The people that we should revile the most after this are going to be the oil execs. And again, what is the White House doing to improve the economy? Kristi Noem's controversial $70 million luxury jet to be repurposed for Melania's personal use. Yeah. That's, hey, Ford Power, you call me a lefty? Yeah, I take that fucking proudly, because lefties are in favor of gun ownership, making sure that people have health care and people have housing. You, my friend, are in favor of a pedophile having her own plane and her pedophile husband running the country. You're fucking right, I'm a lefty. Kristi Noem's controversial $70 million plane. Hey, Ford Power, when's the last time you even sniffed a cent of anything close to $70 million? Oh, that's right, you haven't. Wasn't Donald Trump supposed to bring you all your utopian dreams? Wasn't this supposed to bring you and lift you up? How you doing now, you dumb shit? Oh, that's right, you're in my chat because you're a fucking loser scrolling YouTube with no life, no job, no career, and no money. Most importantly, no bitches. Imagine if Joe Biden did this. That's right. We have a complete asymmetrical game that is happening in the media, and the Democrats need to get on board and stop treating this, again, like I was saying, they're all buttoned down and proper, while MAGA is just foaming at the fucking mouth saying, they're eating babies! You cannot fight that by being this totally disconnected from reality weirdo in a suit and sputtering while you try to read from your list of AIPAC talking points. Also, talking about how weird these people are, I just learned that Kash Patel signs off all his emails with, I'll see you downrange. Downrange. Yeah, dude. Downrange is where you get shot. I'll see you downrange. So I don't know if, like, he's intending this to be, like, a threat to people he's emailing, or if he legitimately, like Asha says here, I don't think he realizes what he is saying. I think it's probably this. Like, he probably is too stupid. He doesn't, like, if you're at a gun target range, you always point the gun down range so that you don't hit anybody on the line or behind you. That's the whole fucking point. That's why you say always point it down range, because that's where no one's going to be and you're not going to do any damage. So if he's saying, I'll see you down range, that to me implies that he'll be down there along with whomever he's with, and y'all are going to get shot. These people are just fucking stupid. Greg is right. So I talked about this yesterday. When it comes to the 25th Amendment, the 25th Amendment is never going to happen under this current pedophile regime in the White House. But I didn't bring this up last time, but Asha is right. Greg is right here. Even if Trump's removal via impeachment, 25th Amendment, whatever, is unlikely, we should not stop talking about it. That's what they did with Biden. They're absolutely correct. They're absolutely correct. We need to make sure that we are talking about this. And AOC is doing a great job about it, talking about his impairment, that he's clearly unfit, et cetera, et cetera. Lisa Murkowski even now coming out with a statement saying that he should be 25th Amendmented. So this is good. We should keep talking about it, and we should not let up on this at all. Even if it's on the Democrats do this all the time. When it came to impeachment last time in Trump 1.0, they were saying, oh, we don't want to impeach him because it's going to fail. You should still fucking do it. You should still talk about it. You should make it a political issue just like the Republicans do. So, meanwhile, what are the Democrats doing to combat all this? Oh, that's right. They're taking on fucking Hassan Piker. And CNN is now getting praise from Laura Loomer, the groomer herself. Wow, credit where credit is due. Dana Bash, great job calling this out. It needed to be done by someone in the mainstream media. The FBI should be monitoring Hassan Piker. He should be arrested for encouraging people to murder Senator Rick Scott.
What is
Keep in mind, this bitch is the one who has been banned from Uber. Isn't she banned from, like, another country, I think? She's been banned from Uber because she is a fucking psychopath for the working class. She's also been banned from, she was banned from Twitter because she's a vile, evil, disgusting, evil human being that looks like fucking Jigsaw. And no one in the White House can fucking stand her. And Hassan says, people at CNN should really take a cold, hard look at what forces they're aligning with. Judge Hassan by his enemies. If Laura Loomer is his enemy, that's my pal. If CNN is his enemy, that's my guy. You're goddamn right. If Donald Trump is his enemy and Donald Trump is a pedophile, yes, that's my guy.
Campaign. I'm a huge... We're going to need all the help we can get. My name is Zach. I work in the campaign. I'm a huge fan.
I'm one of the volunteers.
I was actually getting people to try to sign up to Canvas.
Watching your stream made me get off my ass.
I'm a public defender now, and it's all...
Oh, hell yeah.
So you can see he literally towers over everyone else. I bumped into him twice, I think. And dude is like, you hear about the mountain in Game of Thrones? That's Hassan. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not exactly a small guy. I'm not exactly a big guy. But, like, you know, I'm looking up at, like, the fucking Eiffel Tower to see this guy's face. Like, he's stupidly big.
I've been watching since 2020.
Hell yeah.
And now I'm an employment law paralegal.
National Lawyers Guild Legal Observer with the merge.
I'm a 4-year sub.
You put me on game. I got my mom on game from you.
One of my heroes, man. I watch this team all the time. Thanks for being dude, you changed my life, for real, bro.
I used to be a Republican. You kind of changed my whole trajectory, so thank you.
Wow.
So I want every single person here, every single Hassan in here especially, not only organizing your workplaces, not only organize with your communities, but also organize to get responsive politicians elected. None of us are free until all of us are free.
Palestine. Again, he's connecting with people in a way that the establishment is doing the exact opposite. Democrats like Schumer and Jeffries are historically unpopular. Meanwhile, Hassan, AOC, Zoran, etc. are the popular ones. And until we start embracing this kind of an agenda of free Palestine, housing, healthcare, etc., make sure people are fed, and stop sending our taxpayer dollars to bomb countries overseas, the Democrats are going to keep fucking losing people. Northern Ireland has introduced a 2-week paid leave after miscarriage. Meanwhile, in the U.S., they investigate it as a crime. This is just insane. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss here. This is incredible. A miscarriage, and they get a 2-week paid leave because a miscarriage is a horribly terrible thing to happen to a woman. It's incredibly psychologically painful for them. And here in America, we check them to see if they did it on purpose. I've said it before. There is no cohabitating with people like this. There's just not. People who want to treat normal bodily functions, which are a disaster for families when they occur, people who want to treat it as a crime, there is no cohabitating. They need to be shunned and run out of society at every fucking opportunity. They should not feel safe in public. They should not feel welcome in public, because they are not. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has issued a decree to establish a universal health service, saying the objective is for any citizen to be able to attend any health institution and be guaranteed full and free coverage throughout the national system. Wow, I can't believe that Claudia Sheinbaum is more popular than Kamala Harris. I can't believe that Claudia Sheinbaum is polling higher than any other fucking establishment Democrat in this country. Wow, I wonder what she's doing. Oh, that's right, she's giving people fucking health care. Politics is the easiest goddamn thing on the planet. All you have to do is what the people want and deliver it. That's all, and Zoran is doing it so well. He was out there shoveling snow to get he swept like all that snow after the big snowstorm within a couple hours, and then he's filling potholes. Like, he's doing what the people need. He's interacting with them. He got free pre-K daycare, right? And now he's trying to tax the rich. And the establishment, Julie Menon, the New York City speaker on the city council, is standing in the way of that. That's why he is popular, because he's doing what the people want, and he is exposing how completely vapid and painfully disconnected from reality people like Julie Menon are, who owns a $22 million mansion.
Agency over.
So I have to say, this caught my eye because it's about a church just paying off $1 million in debt for hundreds of families in public housing. The Alfred Street Baptist Church covered the overdue rent to Alexandria families after the mayor learned nearly 50% of public housing residents were behind. You don't see these kind of stories often about churches. Normally, there's only one story you hear about churches. So I wanted to cover this. Shout out to these folks for doing the right thing. This is important to know. The feds lost basically all their assault and federal agent cases from the revolt in LA. It's not all wrapped up, but yeah, when charges come down, reach out to community. Don't freak out. These people are scary, but they are morons. This is absolutely true. I've been following this. So far, I think they've been batting like, the feds in LA have been batting like a .2 average or some shit. I mean, they're losing case after case after case, and a majority of the ones that they're not losing are the ones that they settle, and then they settle it because they get informants, and then those informants go on to go to prison while the people they're snitching against walk free. I mean, this is incredible to read about, that the feds are so... The feds never used to be like this. They used to have a very, very high conviction rate, and to see it turn around like this is just unbelievable. So, what else are the Democrats supporting while being so unpopular? Oh, that's right, war. There were no targets. These are residential buildings, and hundreds have been reportedly killed. This is what Israel has been doing in Gaza and in Lebanon for the past 3 years, targeting civilian infrastructure in order to enact mass casualties, chaos, and destabilization. They've been doing this since the ceasefire as well. Israel strike kills Lebanese radio journalist in her home. Committee to Protect Journalists reports. Gada Dayeki, a presenter with privately owned Sot Al-Farah radio, was killed when an Israeli airstrike hit her apartment building in the southern coastal city of Tyre, destroying it, according to the local news agencies. This is not about war. They're just targeting civilians. You don't get to target residential buildings. You don't get to target radio stations and call it war. Those are war crimes. That is the only thing that war offers in this. Hard to overstate how much centrist goodwill Israel has burned through. A silver lining to this insane war. At least 254 people. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. So this is just showing, this is a compilation of all the people that they've lost. Jon Favreau, pretty centrist guy. End U.S. aid to Israel. Josh Barro, also a stupidly obnoxious centrist guy. Israelis should be punished for this, and there is no reason for a Democratic presidential candidate to suggest we will lift one fucking finger for them after the shit they have pulled, boosting Republicans and inducing our idiot president into launching their war. Could we please differentiate the government from the people? No, the people elected this government over and over. I take issue with this. There is a distinction to be made about, I think it's 70-something% of the Israeli population. Wait, I think I had that backwards. I think it's 94% of the Israeli population supports the Gaza genocide. But there's still that 5%, and, you know, this just feels like it gets really close to talking about Jews are Israel and Jews are the Israeli government, and I don't like that. I don't think we should go that far. But again, Josh Barro is a centrist, so, you know, he's a moron. You got to give him a little ground. Whoops. Noah Smith, oh my God, this guy is so fucking dumb, and yet even he can see the writing on the wall. Americans as a whole realize that Israel's not a good ally. 60% is a solid majority, and it's only going to grow. A breakup of some kind is coming. 60% of Americans have a negative opinion of Israel, just 37% favorable. 80% of Democrats and 41% of Republicans have a negative view. Yet again, the establishment is on. Brina, how are you? How's everything going? Thank you for joining. Centrist Democrats refuse to give up. Yeah, well, you're exactly right, Breen. I'm just talking about it right now. 80% of Democrats, this is an 80-20 issue, and as we keep seeing, Schumer, Jeffries, Booker, Newsom backtracked on a lot of his horse shit. We continue to see the establishment clinging on like a stage 4 shit that just will not come out of the sphincter, you know? I don't think the sphincter is the right word for that, but you know what I meant. Matt Iglesias, the king centrist himself, is saying this. This war has been like a precision strike to take out pro-Israel Democrats. And if it drags on longer, it will eliminate the pro-Israel Republicans too. The tide has turned, people. The tide has turned, and it is fucking glorious. Yeah, Ro Khanna has been very good. I had a lot of problems with him early on, but he's if he keeps going this way, there's good reason to consider him for speaker next year or president in 2028. So this is just a funny clip. Georgia voter was asked about the Iran war.
It's giving war crime. You can't.
She sounds like that redheaded actress in Yellowstone. It's giving war crime.
Do that. We don't just annihilate people because we can and, you know, make a grab for the money and the oil. And that's what we've done in Venezuela, and that's what we're doing in Iran.
I gotta hear that again. Hold on.
It's giving war crime.
I love how this, like, not too far off from being a grandmother is even, like, using Gen Alpha, Gen Z term. Is given war crime. Is given war crime. Fucking put that on a goddamn t-shirt. Holy shit. And this is Georgia, too. So even she's like, no, we can't be doing this shit. That's crazy. So rather than taking criticism of Israel and maybe adjusting our policies or maybe pushing Israel to not be so fucking maniacal, pedophilic, and racist, we get takes like this. I just don't think you can usefully believe both of these things, which isn't to say she doesn't, just that the story is far more about her politics than either individual story. The progressive left hates the Jews. Hadley Freeman, this is stated, June of 24. Kanye isn't a threat to British Jews. April of 26. Now, if you remember, Kanye famously said he loves Hitler, famously wrote a song in favor of Hitler, and yet these people think that folks wearing keffiyehs and marching saying Free Palestine and doing art paintings are the real threat to Jews. You just can't. These people are not credible. They're just not. This is the Republican logic. And thankfully, this is why it's not hitting with the base on the left, because the left actually possesses a little bit of critical thinking, unlike the MAGA mob. And they look at this and they say, wait a minute. These are not the same. Your comparison is horseshit, and I don't think you have any more credibility. Did you see that thing that Kash Patel is going to start coming after us if we don't align with MAGA? Yeah, he was. I think Jeremy and I covered that on Monday. I don't really want to go into that now. I got to finish up here because I got to get going. As President Trump's authorized war, shit, I called him president, on Iran with Israel entered into its second month, some Democratic officials were looking around and wondering, where are the anti-war protests this time around, and why are college campuses so quiet? The obvious answer here is that the student protest movement was broadly smeared as anti-Semitic and aligned with terrorists, and a variety of institutions from government, media, and the university acted as if that smear was true, threatening, suspending, expelling, and even deporting students. This is absolutely correct, and if you recall, the establishment, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Newsom, Karen Bass, and other folks let this happen when the Palestinian activists from 21 through 24 were the first targets of ICE. Mahmoud Khalil, is it Rameza Ozturk, that lady, I'm saying her first name wrong, and Khalil something? No, I already said that. Mahmoud Khalil. There's a whole bunch of other folks. There's so many that I can't keep up. It's the same way with like how there's so many unarmed black folks that have been murdered by the police. There's so many I lose track of the names, which is a disgrace to our system that is the way it's set up. And the establishment helped pave the way for this by threatening, suspending, expelling, demonizing, and deporting those protesters. CBS News has a bombshell interview with a U.S. soldier who survived the deadly attack in Kuwait on the first day of the way. He says Pete Hegseth is lying about the attack and that the base was unprepared to provide any defense for itself. Yeah, because these people are they're playing war games on an Etch-a-Sketch and then think that they can suddenly take over the 17th largest country in the world. This shit is what happens when you get morons in charge. Palestine 36, have to watch it. Good. White people need to get off our butt. Yeah, that's what I'm doing exactly that, Brina. I don't really have time to cover this. I think I'm going to skip ahead. Dem should run on this. Again, this is popular. Prosecuting white-collar crime is a popular thing to run on, but they're too busy attacking Hassan and attacking Palestinian protesters to actually get what the people want. And also, they shoot down resolution condemning AIPAC. Again, this is an 80-20 issue. This is how disconnected the DNC is. The DNC needs to be completely fucking abolished, burned down. We need to piss on its ashes, and we need something better to replace it. There is no way that this can be reformed. We have to completely have a hostile takeover, which is, by the way, exactly what Donald Trump did in 2016. He came over and took over the RNC apparatus. That is the kind of insurgency and political revolution that we need. We need to take over this institution and have it work for the people. So, that's the end of my nonsense. I am putting my soapbox away because I'm done standing on it. Now let's get to a quick funny moment. Some of my favorite stuff for watching gaming stream material. So, this is from one of my favorite games, Phasmophobia.
Oh, he went up here.
You know bro had a heart attack right after that. All right, let's see if there's one more. Let's see. The Great Bamboozle? I don't think I've seen this one.
If they also have Junkrat, we go from the back of a hotel.
Yeah, the left side door. Yeah, boy, do you know? Left side door, hotel, we go there, okay?
Oh, yeah.
No say?
Junkrat.
Okay,
Remember, 1 inch from the wall.
Save your bubble.
Junkrat video.
We're going around. We're going second point. Okay, go hotel. Careful trap. Trap.
Remember, back.
Go. Keep going.
Careful, let me chill.
We don't perch.
They're on point. Careful.
Nice.
I go hotel.
Keep going. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call the 3-2-1. They have solo heal.
A long clip. There better be a big payoff for this.
Yeah, wait for me. Okay, walk in.
Yeah. Okay.
We drop from perch to point.
Keep going. Who's call it?
Yeah. Mind that.
Hey, 3, 2, 1, now. I'm speeding.
Yeah.
Someone rush on point.
Rush point.
We don't orbit.
Go,
Risa. Chunkali. Yeah, ignore. Yeah, don't try. I'm pumping.
Get Junka point.
Good shots.
If they also have Junkrat, we.
Okay, that was not as funny as I thought it was going to be. We are taking over DNC with progressives. Good to hear. Brina, I certainly hope so. I'll be working towards the same. That is the end of the stream. Brina, as always, good to see you. I'll be doing a gaming stream tomorrow. about 2:30, and then I'll, of course, be back on Jeremy's podcast around 3. Thank you for joining. That is it for me.